Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing the tutorial on how to make the business card ATC holder out of an old book that I showed on YouTube a week or so ago. These are the things that you're going to need to make this. You're going to need a couple of CDs. Like all of us have some of those lying around that don't work anymore. You're going to need either one big book, this kind of size, or if you have a couple of thinner books that are the same height, you can use 2 or 3 or even 4 of those, depending on how thick you want your holder to be. You are going to need some paper for lining the CDs. Now you will need to line both the front and the back of the CD because you're going to see both parts. Although you only see a small part on one side, you will still see a little, so you'll need to line it both front and back. You will need a pair of scissors or a knife, both. A pen to draw around the CDs for cutting out, unless you can just cut a perfect circle the size, but I certainly can't. And then you'll need some glue for sticking the paper onto the CDs. Now for the first one, the first ever one I made, I used Mod Podge. But then I decided that this stuff is just way too expensive, so I made my own. I have made jars and jars of this stuff, and it works exactly the same, and it costs a very, very small fraction of the price as what the Mod Podge does. And I've got my paintbrush to paint it. Of course, you can use any glue that suits you to stick your paper onto the CDs and to attach the whole thing at the end. I might even use a bit of hot glue when it actually comes to attaching the CDs to the book, but we'll wait till we get to that point. Right, so the first thing we need to do is you need your book. Now, if it's a hardback like this, and in fact either way, you're going to need to take the covers off it. So you can either just cut them or pull them off, depending on how easily they need scissors for that. So there's the cover. I probably will keep that, and it's quite nice. It makes it like a little folder. I'd probably keep that, cover it, and use that as a scrapbook cover. Right, so now we've got the book. As you see, it will bend all the way around, so that's fine. This part takes quite a long time, so I'm going to do the first few, then I'm going to switch the video off to save battery, and then I'll kind of switch it back on when I finish. So what you can do is you take a page. I mean, it's just so simple. Fold it into the middle and just crease it. So you've kind of got half a size. So again, actually those first couple are a bit loose, so I'll take those off. Right, try that again. You can fold it either way, it makes no difference. I would suggest that you fold maybe one half in one way and then the other half the other way. I like to fold mine in though, it just makes it a little easier when it comes to folding. Now, it doesn't matter if they're not exactly perfect, but if you do try, obviously, if you can get them all the same size, then it gives you a much nicer finish at the end. I didn't even look at how many pages this book has. Let me do that quickly. There are, okay, so there are about 740, including like the covers and the spare bits. So we just carry on folding until the whole book is folded in. Like you see where you would. And the whole thing needs to be done, so I'm going to go and do that, and I will be back in just a few minutes. I've now folded all of the pages up for the book. What I did realise after I kind of got halfway through was that CDs weren't going to be big enough to use for the top and the bottom. Obviously the pages are quite a lot wider than what the ones were in the last book I used, so this one is considerably bigger than the one I made last time. I actually did also cut a chunk off as well because it wasn't folding. I wasn't making a very good circle. So I shall use that later, and it's kind of smaller scale to what I'm doing here, and I will post on the blog and maybe do another video with this one when that's finished. So what I've had to do for this is, because obviously the CDs are far too small, I've cut out, used some mount board, and I've just cut out 2 circles for the top of the bottom. Because this is coloured on one side, I'm not actually going to decorate the green side for the piece that's just going to sit down, because you're not going to see it when it's sat still, and it's not like a CD that needs some kind of cover on it, so that'll be absolutely fine. So I'm only going to have to cover 3 of the sides now. Get that out of the way. The paper I'm using for this one is the same I used for the last one, and it's from this K and Company pack. About 360 I think sheets in there, so it's going to take me forever to get through all that. I'm not going to cut this out yet, I'm just going to stick it down first, and then once it's stuck I will then cut around it. I find that an easier way. So this is like the Mod Podge that I made myself, and it's just a real simple, easy way of doing it, and it's PVA glue and water. You can add as much water or as little water as you like to it, really, to get the consistency you like, and I quite like it a little bit runny. And I've got other tubs of this as well that I've added glitter and different things too, so being a little bit runny out, it means you get a bit more movement on it as well. Press down really hard to make sure that you've got no bubbles or anything in there. Any tiny little bubbles on that, don't worry too much about, because as the glue dries they will disappear. I will probably either sand the edge of this down to make it a bit smoother, or add something around it. On the last one I actually added some gold leaf. I don't think I've got any of that left, so I won't be doing that on this one. You could always add a ribbon or anything around the edges just to hide the whiteness, or even I suppose you could just ink over it with some distress ink. I might do that with a walnut stain. I've got some black soot. I'm absolutely useless at cutting out circles. Okay, so that's one done. Like I said, this one will be the base, because I shall leave it like that, and sit on the top, which obviously you need to cover because you can see just the edge of it. I'll do the other one. Save that bit for later. The only thing with this obviously being bigger means that I'm only going to get one of these from a sheet, whereas with the CDs you could actually just one of the 12x12 sheets will do both front and back for each CD. But luckily I have got enough sheets of this. So let's just double check, haven't I? Yeah, I have. I've got one left. So I do have enough sheets of this one to cover both the top and bottom of the top piece. Plenty of glue. Reminds me of being at school, playing with PVA glue. Kids like playing with this glue. The only thing is they do, as all kids do, they like to paint it on them and wait till it dries and sit and peel it off. Okay, just really rub. Annoying. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to decorate the top of this. I haven't decided if to make another pin cushion like I did for the last one, or if to do something a little bit different. I had intended on making this as a gift for somebody, but I'm not sure actually if it's going to be a little too big, so I'll have to have a think about that. Right. Almost there. Save all those bits, they come in handy another day. Where's it gone? No, I can't find it now. There it is. Table. Echo coming out with a cold. Just typical, because today's the first day of the summer holidays. Not that we've got much of a summer at the minute. It's quite miserable. So far today though, it hasn't rained, which is nice. It's also my eldest son's birthday today. He's 12, like a baby 12. How fast did that go? He finishes school at lunchtime today, so I'm going to take him out for lunch with one of his friends. Okay. Stick this down. One thing I didn't do, which you might like to do, but I've only just thought about it, is actually line this up so as you can see like the writing going across to make sure it lines from the other side. But I never think about these things. I'm sure it'll be fine though. That's stuck enough. That's actually stuck to the table. Oh, it's completely off. It's not even close. Oh, never mind. No, I mean, I would normally say wait until this is completely dry, but to be honest, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think I'm going to stick it on and then deal with the edges afterwards, just to show you how to put the whole thing together. So, let's move some of these bits out of the way. Let's put the lid on my glue. I can see me spilling it. Right. Now I'm going to use the hot glue to seal it. This is my new hot glue stick. I was wondering why it's not working. The trigger seemed really hard to pull and the glue just didn't want to come out. When it did, it was, by the time it hit the paper, it was already cold again, so it was kind of useless. But I think possibly my batteries were just dying, so I've given them a really good charge up, and hopefully it will work a bit better today. So that's our base. Okay, I'm going to put loads of, oh, that's much better. Loads of hot glue on the bottom of that. I need to fetch another stick in a second. Okay, make sure this is the right way round. Not that it matters, it's not like you're going to read it, but... Okay, so try and get that kind of in the middle. And just press it down. Doesn't make me go well and truly stuck. For some reason it's sticking to my table too. Okay, so that's the bottom stuck up. I might just have enough hot glue for this. On the top one I'm just going to actually put the glue. Let's see. I'm going to put the glue just direct to the top of the... See if I can lift this a little so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I can't. Right, so I'm putting the glue on the top of the book, and I'm just going to stick the top straight onto it. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm actually doing at the minute. It's not very exciting. I need to find a way, I'm not really sure how to set up my camera really when I'm making videos. What's the best way to put it or to have it so it's easy to see what I'm doing. So if anyone's got any suggestions for that, I'd be very grateful. Okay, so I've just stuck the top on, press that down. So that's kind of what we've got. I mean, obviously it's not gonna go that way, but at the top, and we've got the bottom. Now all I shall do is just, I don't know why this is really sticking to the table. It's like static. It's completely stuck. Around this edge here where you've got like the rough edge, I'm going to just sand that round when the glue's completely dry on there. And I'm going to put a bit of alcohol ink or something around the edge, see how that looks. If that doesn't look very good, then I will probably put some kind of ribbon or a bit of seam binding around the edge. I will be back with another video showing how I'm going to finish this. Like I said, I'm not decided yet whether I'm going to put a pincushion on the top of this one like I did the last, or if I might put something else on it. Maybe something like a pencil pot or something, I'm not sure. So, but this is basically how you make the basic stand, and then you can just slot in your business cards, your ATCs, whatever you want to, all the way little notelets or whatever you need to around there. And you can make these any shape or size you like, really. Well, not shape, but you can make them kind of any size you wanted, depending on what books you've got available. Not going to put more glue on that. Okay, so that's the basic idea as how you're going to make one of these. You'll have to let me know if you give it a go, and maybe share some photos on how yours has turned out. Alright, thank you for watching.